Hey everybody, I'm Brian with Knox Company, and I'm going to show you how to uninstall a water softener system. And I already know you're probably thinking, why would I want to do that? Well, in my situation, I'm actually going to be going from a water softener system to an actual whole home filtration system by Shell Water Systems. What that means is that it's not only going to soften the water, but there's another filtration tank that removes chemicals and all these other harmful products and softens it. And then we also have a particle filter for anything large that might make it through. So it's really a whole home water filtration system and water softener all in one. So I'm actually going to be upgrading from this to this. This system here is great. I have a video on how to install it in case you guys want to check it out. I have a link there in the bottom for you. So it shows you how to install it. But in this case, I'm uninstalling it. Another reason why you might want to uninstall a water softener system is because maybe you're selling your house and you want to take this with you. Maybe you want to get this thing back to where it was, where it just has that water loop, which luckily I saved the piece there. So you can actually remove this system pretty easily. It's just a couple steps. Install back the water loop so that you have continuous water back to the house, and then you can go on your way. So I'm just going to show you some of the steps here. You could also be maybe upgrading to just a newer water softener, or maybe this one broke or something happened. You want to go to a different system. This is how you uninstall. And then obviously I have a video on how you can install. So one of the first things when doing any type of plumbing or work with water in your house is turn off the water to your house. This can be done a couple ways. This valve right here is the main water line that goes into the house, and it's usually somewhere by the front of the garage or somewhere by the front of the house. Most commonly here on the West Coast, you find them in the garage, and this means that water is flowing with the direction of the pipe. So when you turn it the other way, it's cutting it off, so it actually stops the water from flowing there. But another way to do this, in case you don't find this or you're worried about breaking this, because if something like this breaks in your house, it's obviously yours to deal with, but there's a little trick that I learned from a plumber. He said that if you ever want to turn the water off to your house, go turn the water off at the street, because the valve right here at the front of your house, when you turn that one off, if something were to happen to it and it breaks, it's going to be the city or the county that you live in. It's going to be their responsibility, because that from that point forward is theirs. So if you ever turn on and off the water at your house, this is one way to do it. Every house is going to have some type of shut off for the supply, but if something happens to the valve for some reason, like it's an older house, in a case that I was working on another one, the valves are really old, and if something broke inside the house, it would be completely the homeowner's responsibility. If you turn it off here and this breaks, the city comes back out and they replace it, and it's their responsibility. So I thought that was pretty cool when I learned that, because I never thought about it that way. But like I said, the old house I was working on for this other water system, it had some really, really old valves, and I was like, I'm afraid to even touch these things. And he said, well, don't touch them. Turn the water off out at the street. This is why. So that was kind of cool to learn. Another place that you might be able to shut the water off is at your actual water loop. I had these installed when the house was built, because I knew that sometimes you need to just be able to shut the water off. So you can actually just turn this and stop the water flow here as another quick disconnect, so you don't have to shut off water for the whole house. But again, because this is at the beginning of the system for the filtration, technically it will shut off most of the water. You might still have a couple water bibs outside for hoses working, but this will shut off the water to the rest of the fixtures inside the house. And because we have the water shut off, there's going to be a lot of pressure and water in the line still. So I recommend going to one of your faucets, letting that water pressure drain. And that releases some of the pressure, so that when we go to disconnect these pieces, it doesn't start spraying out as much, because we've reduced some of the pressure inside those lines. So one of the first things I'm going to do is remove this brine tank. This has a little bit of water and salt in it. So there is going to be a quick disconnect on the inside here. There's a little push connection right here that I need to apply pressure back, and then I can actually pull this line out. So by pushing back on this little ring, I can actually then release the tension on that cord. Now this whole brine tank can be moved away. Next up is actually removing the power source here. So usually you're going to be able to unplug it, take away the power source. Then we're going to disconnect this line right here, which is our flush valve. When it's doing its refresh cycle, this is where the water flushes out to the drain. So we're going to disconnect it here where it connects to the house. And then we're going to be able to leave it connected here to the back of the tank, because it has another one of those push valves. But we don't need to remove it here. We just need to disconnect it from the house. Then the last two connections will be right here at the back for the inlet and the outlet. I'm just going to be cutting it because I'm going to be installing a new fitting. And that is why we always have a bucket and some towels standing nearby. So that's why I also always recommend having a couple buckets and some towels nearby, because there is still going to be water in these lines. This line actually goes up and then over into a drain, so there's a little bit of water sitting there. So gravity just shot that water out. So you're going to get a little bit wet, but it's just part of the process. So last but not least, we're going to disconnect these inlet and outlet. These are these pressure fittings here with these flex pipes. These are most commonly used in a lot of our plumbing connections. I am going to be using more of this PEX on the next installation with a PEX A type of connection. So those are used in a lot of new homes. So if you're curious about PEX A connections and the tools required for it, I'll put a link for that video as well, because it's a really cool tool and it doesn't require any soldering or anything. Like you see the pipes in the back there, the copper, those are all sweated joints. So you have to have a torch and you have to have solder, and you need to kind of like have the pipe be dry usually. With the PEX A stuff, when you're using these plastic pipes, they have fittings that go on there that are pressure, and you pretty much can connect it like that in like 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and start disconnecting these. I have a bucket sitting below here to catch some water because I believe there's going to be some water in here. This valve is shut off, but there still should be some water in here. Then we'll just go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now we can go ahead and remove that tank. This is also going to be a little bit heavy because there's resin filtration in there. The particles that actually filter the water, those have a little bit of weight to them. But obviously this is full of water right now, so that's going to have all that additional weight. You're probably just going to have to kind of roll it away. You can drain these, but I'm going to be connecting this right back to another house. So this is going to be repurposed. It's only maybe a couple months old. So we're going to actually reuse this because it is a great filtration system. But this, in that case, you want to move it or throw it away, you might want to actually drain it out. That can be done by removing the head. You actually screw it off. I have a video showing how it's assembled. It literally just screws off the top like a cap. Then you can actually tip it over, pour it, drain it out, but that would be just to reduce weight. Otherwise, you should be able to kind of tip it over and allow it to drain out as well, but those two valves are controlled by that head unit, so you need to make sure that they're open if you're going to want that water to flow out. And there you have it. The system's out. You can remove it, you can throw it away, you could repurpose it, and now you're ready to pretty much install the new system, which I'm going to have a full video on that. These Shell water systems are awesome. One of the best parts is that they're actually made in the USA. That is probably one of the biggest selling points for me, is because I always want to try to contribute to businesses and companies here in the US. And they're a great company based out of Texas, and they reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in one of these systems and if I'd like it. So we worked something out. I was able to get a system and we're going to install that. So I'll have a full video on how to install that one, how to assemble it, what to expect, any troubleshooting that there might be on the installation. And it should be cool because this is going to be an upgrade from just a water softener, but now a whole home filtration system. So a lot of people are looking for those. So keep an eye out for that video. I'll tag it here at the end as well. So everything here is uninstalled. We have our two flex pipes there still draining. We can run the loop back through. I have that loop right here. This is a really unique size. It's 1 1/4 inches. So this is a really, really big fitting. Most commonly, you're going to have 1 inch. This is 1 1/4. So I don't know why they did that, but it's nice to have the bigger pipes, but it's inconvenient to try to find these 1 1/4 inch fittings, and they're more expensive. So I actually had to find 1 1/4 to 1 inch because most of these systems are 1 inch or 3/4. So I had to reduce and then go back up to 1 1/4 back into the house. So these were kind of hard to find. I think these were like 50 or 60 bucks a piece. That's pretty expensive, but it's what we had to do to basically work with what was built into the house with these copper pipes. So something you can definitely do yourself. I'll put links for all these different items and different tools that I use, links for the systems, and I'll put a link for that Shell water system as well. But now this thing's ready to go. You can either sell the house, take your water system with you, throw it away, upgrade, whatever you decide to do. It's almost easier to uninstall it than it is to install it. I hope that video was helpful. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button. Lets me know that I'm doing something good and you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them down there in the comments. I'm really good about getting back at all my comments. A lot of people like to ask me questions that they have uniquely at their house that we can try to problem solve or figure out a workaround. So stuff like that's fun to do, and I'm really good at getting back at all those. So once again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next build.